Hey, kaikille. I'm Kate. I'm an American expat. I'm also an artist at heart and an engineer by trade. Recently, my family and I have moved to Finland, specifically the Helsinki area, and we're experiencing all the joys of starting a brand new life in a brand new country from scratch. Today, I want to spill the tea on how to secure an apartment in Finland when moving internationally, how we logged out an apartment, along with what surprised us, and some chuckles along the way. Let's go. So, first things first, for you to have a long-term apartment here, you need a legal status. No passport, no residency card, no visa, no long-term stay. Sorry. For those medium-term stays, you're better off just renting an Airbnb for a couple months. Now, if you've got those, or one of those, you have a couple options. One is a private party, which is somebody just renting out their home. For that, you need to make sure you have a Finnish social security number. Here it's called a henkilötunnus, along with a credit history and preferably some recommendations from previous apartments you've rented. The other option now is a company that owns apartment complexes. This is the best option for people that are fresh off the boat like my family and myself. The application process is way simpler and way easier, and also they can cut some slack. For example, you may not necessarily need to have a social security number at the moment of application, which is something that we opted for. I think the US has really spoiled me with ZillowApartments.com. The websites are built in a very user-friendly way. The way you can just so easily sort through listings, apply filters, switch out between map and list view makes the whole experience of hunting for a new home a very fun and enjoyable experience. Now, there are also Finnish versions of it, which is Vuokraovi and Oikotie. They do lack some features, but they have become my good buddies when preparing for this international move. I'll be honest, most listings don't live on there for long, and leases are signed quickly, especially in the nicer neighborhoods. And user, beware of the hot months, August and September, when everybody is moving and listings go very quickly. If you qualify for special housing like student, senior, or low income, well, you're in luck because the prices are way nicer. If you do not, also listen up, because all of the apartments are grouped together and marketed on the same apartment websites as all of the listings combined. You will find out about the special circumstances usually when reading descriptions that are 99% of the time in Finnish. So for those of us that don't speak Finnish, that may be a problem. I fell for that twice and almost applied for senior living homes. Yeah, man, the prices were really nice. Side note, and this is definitely not a requirement since everything that I'm going to be talking about and have been talking about can be done on your own. But if your budget allows it, I do recommend hiring an apartment hunter. This is somebody who knows the neighborhoods, who knows the schools, and they can provide some good recommendations in terms of international school or public school if you're still undecided. They also can give you more honest feedback on the apartment that you're looking at and some of the things surrounding it. Way more honest than a leasing agent. Once you've found the one, you're finally ready to lock in and sign a lease agreement. That's usually done with a Finnish bank application here. No Finnish bank account yet? We didn't either. So we signed our lease agreements by holding up passports to the cameras of our computers. For the longest time, I really was sure it was a prank. Please also be ready to drop a votivakus, which is a deposit. It varies between 1 and 3 months rent. The terms of getting that back also can vary. Some places even let you get it back before your first year is up. Your contract is going to be signed for a year and then it flips over to month. The rent can only go up once a year and also with proper notice. Before getting your keys, you're also going to need a kotivakuutus. They sound similar, I agree. But this time it's renter's insurance. It's pretty cheap, about 10 to 15 euros a month, and you can buy that when opening up your Finnish bank account. Once you're ready to pick up your keys, you're going to go to third party. And make sure to bring your ID. Nope, a US driver's license is not considered an ID here. You will need a passport and maybe even a residency card. I would double check with the company you're leasing from. And then the keys are all yours. Before you proceed to doing the dance to your apartment, celebrating your your new home, I would double check the entire home for all kinds of damages. Cabinets, windows, floors, walls, circuits, anything, and take a picture of anything that looks suspicious or off. Once all of that is documented, send a report to your landlord so you're not charged for anything when moving out. So Americans, listen up. Our apartment came with no washing machine, but the piping was there to install your own. There was also no microwave and no AC, which really makes sense for a northern country. But the past couple years, there have been record-breaking 95 degrees outside. And that's like a free sauna all day. It's fine on day one, it's decent on day two, but starting day three, it's kind of annoying. And this week, the 95 degrees stayed on for like 3 weeks in a row. I don't know how Finns did it. And just disclaimer, I am comparing Finnish apartments to the typical DC area apartments. Every US state and county has different apartment setups and different regulations. Like I have heard it's okay in LA to rent out an apartment without a refrigerator. So just comparing to the DC area apartments. On the plus side, we do have nicer appliances. Like we have Siemens installed instead of Whirlpool. We also have nice curtain rods for those midnight summer marathons, along with a glassed in balcony, which I'm kind of really digging at this current moment, along with a free sauna, which every tenant can book that lives in this apartment complex. I'm really also enjoying the Finnish recycling system. It kind of makes American recycling feel like a toddler's job. There's plastic, glass, metal, cardboard, paper, mixed waste, and bio waste. And the nice part is, you don't need to go out of your way to participate. It's literally in the basement of my building. Okay, let's do a brief rundown of what a Finnish apartment looks like straight out of the gate. Keep in mind, I did buy a few small items, did a small IKEA run already, so this doormat, some of my stuff, some linens and towels were purchased. So this is what an apartment looks, so our apartment is going to look like. This is the view from the main door. This is a very spacious hallway with plenty of storage space. On my right, there are 4 built-in closets right here. Proceeding into the kitchen area, very typical, very classical shape with a sink, dishwasher, stovetop, and an oven, and a refrigerator here. I did notice that one cool thing is that it already comes with some built-in storage and organization. And this is the main living room. So this needs to function both as a dining area along with a couch. So this is probably going to be our dining area, and over here is going to be our couch. Proceeding forward, there is a huge, huge balcony. This is about, I'd say 4, 5 feet wide, and it is very long. Yes, there is some bird poop on the windows as well, but it is very long and very spacious. So plenty of space to put up some, outdoor dining area and maybe some lounge area. So walking back in, we can make our way to the 3 bedrooms that we have here. This is going to be bedroom 1. This is going to be the master bedroom. We will be putting up our queen bed in here, along with probably a working area for me sometime in the future when all of our items arrive. And then this too, forgot to mention, this too has built-in storage, 1 larger closet, and then 2 smaller ones. And then this is the next smaller bedroom with 1.5 built-in closets. This is probably going to be my daughter's room. And then there's a 3rd bedroom, which is probably going to be my husband's office since he's working from home. This is a little bit bigger, I think, than my daughter's, and this has 2 built-in closets. One really cool thing is that they do come with these rails where you can just kind of hang up curtains that you purchase at like an IKEA. So this is very cool. You don't need to install any extra rods if you like to hang something up. That's more than, the blinds. This is the 1st bathroom. Please note that there is no washer or dryer. It does not come with washer dryer in the building. You are usually required to purchase your own washer or dryer, but toilet, sink, shower. This is an interesting system that is pretty unique. I know it's different for Americans. There's no separate shower, so you can make a mess The bathroom is made to kind of get wet all over, and then you can clean the floor and the walls all together and then wash it all off. That's the first one, and this is the second bathroom. We currently do not have electricity on. We are supposed to get it sometime today, but yes, this is our second bathroom. One other thing that is different from the United States is that there is no microwave. So microwave is also something that we have to purchase on our own. Everything else is pretty standard. And finally, the essentials of your day-to-day living. There's a water, which is usually included with your rent. We're paying 25 euros flat per adult person, so that's 50 euros in total. There is also electricity, and they have an interesting approach with electricity where every tenant chooses their own provider and their own plan. There is spot-based pricing versus kilowatt hours based pricing, and you just play around, see what works better for you. Once a provider and a plan is chosen, you're going to get electricity within 2 to 3 hours, and we'll see how the winter goes. But the prices sound way cheaper than that in the U.S. And there's the internet, which everybody wants and needs. There is a 100 euro deposit for the equipment they're going to be borrowing, or you can just buy the equipment straight off of them. But this 100 euro deposit you can request back in a year, or they're going to automatically return to you within 2 years. Make sure you have a Finnish bank account set up before doing this, because they're not going to accept credit cards. And just like that, your new home is ready. But it's also completely empty. It's a perfect landscape for creativity and imagination. I've left a little bit of fun at the end. I have a couple Finnish words that deal with apartment searching. Finns, please drop me a note as to how badly I butchered these in the comments. Vuokra, vuokra, rent. Vapaa heti, vapaa heti, available now. Vuokravakuus, vuokravakuus. Security deposit. We did come across this one a little bit earlier. Hakemus, hakemus, application. Sopimus, sopimus, contract. A lamikeia, a lamikeia, no pets. I would love to hear from you if you have any more questions about apartments or in general life in Finland. Kiitos for watching, and remember, life is too short for boring adventures. Moi moi!